with Jackie Fuchs, and she's with Art Love Gallery. And Jackie's done a number of art fairs with Redwood. And Jackie, today I want to talk about the basis for you or any exhibitor deciding what fair to do, when, you know, and when you're ready to do that fair, and then making the application and the registration. You know, what is it that you think about? What makes the decision that you're going to apply and get into a fair like Spectrum Miami or Red Dot Miami, or even Art Expo New York, or one of our other fairs? What's that process for you?
Well, Linda, thanks for having me. One of the things I considered before I got involved with Redwood Media Group is reputation. And you guys really put a beautiful show together. And I felt very comfortable with everyone in the admin. And I thought, I'm going to give it a go. Now, before I decided that, I had been represented by another gallery, and I did a show with her, with that gallery, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. I like this, and I can do this better. And being a business person and an artist, I thought, this is a great venue. I, in fact, wanted to work for you guys. I mean, I really enjoy interacting with everyone that I'm in touch with. And so for me, what attracted me to that location, to Miami and New York, is because the work I show and sell, of late, I represent about 30 people, and now I have my own gallery. I was just doing art fairs, making my living doing art fairs, not having to do any other work for the whole year, just doing Redwood Media Group art fairs, 2 a year. And I'd make enough money to have the lifestyle I'm accustomed to. So what makes my show successful are a lot of factors. I only work with artists that I enjoy being around. I do not have anyone in my booth solely based on I can sell their work and make money. First, I have to love their work. Second of all, I have to know that it fits in with the other things, that the other art that I show. And that basically you taught me, because in the curation of my booth, when I did my first booth with you guys, it was a solo booth in New York, and I sold out. And the first thing I said to you, Linda, when I met you is, how can my booth be award-winning booth? Like, what would, and you helped me curate. You told me not to overhang and to have it be seamless. And I do that now with the 10, 15, 20 artists that I show in my very large booths at your fairs now. And if you walked into my gallery, you know, not knowing me, you would ask, is this all your art? Many people do that all day long because it's curated seamlessly. Not that the work looks like the person next to them, but that the work isn't a jolt from one artist to the next. Like, it's very important that my artists, I ask them, I request for art fairs to do works in similar size, in same sizes, so that I can make grids or display it in a way that people aren't like, when you have so much in a booth, and I've seen many booths like this, they're overhung because they brought everything and they want to show everything. That's not how to have a successful booth. That's how you can turn everyone off from stopping and looking at the one piece they might be interested in. If there's too much, it's the same thing that Eric once said to me. Like, if you're going to bring a piece to someone's house because they're interested in it, don't bring too many, because they're overwhelmed and they don't know, you know, what to look at, and then they change their mind because they're overwhelmed. So I always ask my artists, like if I'm making a booth card, give me 6 of your best pieces and I'll curate the card as well. And because this is a card that's going out to 40,000 people, 50,000 people, whoever shows up at the art fairs in the 5 days. And I want them to remember something from each artist. So I put everyone's work on there, but curate that as well. So, which is how.
So it's a handout.
It's a handout, it's a booth card. I don't do huge booth cards because people don't want to carry big things. So I do a small card, like a postcard size, and the booth and all the information about me and my gallery is on the front, and then, or the back, and then on the front is everyone's image curated as if I'm curating a gallery. And I give each artist their space. There's no urgency to fill the space where the piece sold and they went with it. A red dot looks good. And also, I put a lot of work from each artist in my closet so that I can walk those out, either if something is sold on the wall or if they want to see more of that artist. So I always invite my artists to send, 2 to 4 extra pieces depending on size. It's important for me to have a closet in my booth because I open the door and the work is hanging on the walls in the closet. It makes it very easy. I keep the closet very immaculate so that if someone's walking in, they can see what's in there. I'm not hiding sandwiches and beverages. And I also always take the chairs out of my booth because, as it's been taught to me by you guys, sitting there on my phone or eating something is not a welcoming. So whoever works with me, we stand the entire show and we walk around and we hand cards to everyone who passes. And I don't discriminate if it's an 8-year-old that's passing with her sister, I give her a card or a button with my number and an image on it, something for everyone. I've always been like in the marketing field where how can everyone who passes my booth or comes into my gallery afford, like I have collectors that are 18, they just got their dorm room or they just got their apartment that have started to collect me because I have $300 pieces of art and they love it. Knowing your audience is a very, very important factor if you want to make money. Like I have to tell you, I've worked about 5 months in a row without any help, 7 days a week, and I feel like I don't work a day in my life. I just, and I sell every day, and my career started at art fairs. I'm like, I wonder how I can do this. And my first art fair, I put on a credit card. I've told you this before. I spent $8,000 and got a solo booth in Manhattan. And I had about 18 red dots. I had about, 21 pieces with me. I did a demonstration in my booth. Before it was dry, it sold the piece I was working on.
I remember.
Yeah, I just can't say enough for how my career started with you guys because it's only been since I've been with you. And
well, but I also think that the other thing that you've done is you've learned along the way, certainly we all do, but you've also enhanced what your results have been by the marketing that you do. Yes, Redwood is doing a lot of marketing, but it's all of us together. I think that it's like throwing a pebble in a pool of water and you see the ripples come out. That's how 40,000 people come into an art fair or our art fairs in Miami. It's because we're all marketing, not just Redwood,
yes,
but each exhibitor
to that point,
marketing to their audience.
yes, to that point, I have probably over, without exaggerating, 1,200 emails
Mhm.
And I send out, you know, whatever comes in our packet. I send out the passes. I tell everyone, you know, I have VIP passes for you because you're my collector. And I
Great.
send out an email blast. I blind copy everyone. I send it to myself so that no one is getting a list of all my collectors, because
Mhm.
you don't want to put that out there. People want privacy. And also, you know, I consider it like it's more than just, I can sell anything that I love. And the artists I rep know that. So they want, like, even though I'm an unusual character because I have my art in my booth, but my art brings in half of the people remember me from the last show. So they're like, oh my God, I saw you in Miami. I saw you in Manhattan. I saw you in Provincetown where your gallery is. Like, they have seen me in many places. So I have a big collection of these emails. And I do take time. I take, you know, like 4 hours of my day to make sure the email goes out to everyone, but not too soon, to prepare them for the show that's coming, because too soon it just gets lost in the mix. But I find that, like, if it's 2 weeks before, then, you know, I'll get comments like, how do I get this pass, you know, and I'll explain to each person, or they'll call me. I always go into every show with the attitude that there's a lot of money and there's abundance for everyone. And so when I first did this and I saw red dots on another booth, like, you know, like you can use me, for example, like 17 red dots on a wall in my first show, and the people across are wondering why they're not selling. They're sitting on their phone, they're eating, and their work is not curated as if it's a gallery. It's curated as if it's a yard sale. And I'm going to put everything I own because I have to make my booth money back. I never do anything. I never go into any business venture, and I've been in business for 45 years now. I never go in thinking, limiting the abundance I can make and thinking that no one's buying my stuff. Because if you go into it with fear, that's all you're going to project. But if you go into it knowing that what you've done here today is a good job and people are going to buy your work because you have a history of knowing your audience. And if you're a new time person coming and this is your first art fair, you want to make sure you don't overhang and don't limit your thinking, because that is the downfall that most artists have. You know, when people come to me, like I just got an email today, hey, I know a couple of your artists, will you show me? I said, send me 6 of your best works. I'm happy to look at them. Now, I don't just show anyone anymore, you know, like I don't need to, because I can put my work up and make 100% of it. So for me to give wall space, it's real estate. So when you're considering who's in your booth, like if you're in a solo booth, put your best work out. If you're in a booth in another gallery, you put your best work out and you show up, and don't interfere with the people who are selling. Just be there to talk about your process. And be open without your arms crossed, and smile from beginning to end, because you want to spread love, not fear that you're not making your money back. And as I was saying, I never go into anything thinking, oh, I have to make my money back. I do the numbers before, I decide who I'm showing, and then I go into the show knowing I'm going to come out of it ahead, way ahead. I've come out of your shows way ahead, where, you know, where I pay my whole gallery rent in one payment.
Well,
Yes.
thank you.